voice of the beat.
You know what I want?
Blaze up.
Come on, blaze up.
It's the beat for me.
Wah 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 wah. For your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live. For your boy. For your boy. Hustle for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your lift it up.
Hey y'all! Happy Educational Friday! What's up? It's Friday. Today the 2nd too, so it's the 2nd day of the new year. Happy Educational Friday. Y'all come on in here. Get in here, get the likes up on the video. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Feel like I got something in my teeth. If you are new to the channel, welcome. I appreciate you for being here. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and also, if you want the replay game, y'all, leave some comments down in the comment section. Also, if you're returning, welcome back, and everybody just hit the like button. It do feel weird, huh, Will? Like, I was just thinking about this recently, because it's funny you say it felt like a Sunday, though. The days, is it just me? And I'm not even asking people just to agree, but I'm genuinely asking. It feels like the time is different now. Like time in the way in which we have perceived it in the past is different from the way we receive it now. Like, I don't know if it's just going by faster. The holidays don't feel the same. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. And look at Katie said a noon Joce. Girl, listen, you know what's crazy, Katie? When I looked at the time, I said, yeah, boo, you gotta do better. It's a new year. You gotta do better, girl. Because it did at this point, girl, the way I'm going, it's gonna be a night Joce. And Lord knows I don't want it to be that. It's meant to be the morning Joce. And you know what? I had to see that because it's more reminder that I got to do better. And this is not an excuse, but I'm going to tell y'all what I was doing. It's the 2nd. I got up this morning and I decided I was going to start taking down Christmas stuff. Girl. And I ain't even nowhere near put a dent in it because I'm trying to organize it the way I want it organized. You know what I'm saying? So not an excuse because work is work or whatever. But that's really what I was doing, girl, trying to organize this Christmas stuff so next year I can know how it is, when, you know what I'm saying? I did it last year, but I feel like in the midst of decorating, I just was pulling stuff. So now I'm putting it away, but I'm organizing it by color, by theme, by, you know what I'm saying? I'm crazy like that. I'm not OCD neither at all, nowhere near it. But I just don't like clutter when I'm going back to something. It's just weird like that. You know how like I'm the type of person, I got to clean my house top to bottom before I go out of town. Oh yes, I gotta clean my house top to bottom when I go out of town. Because when I come home, I want it to be fresh, clean. You know what I'm saying? When I put my bags down, I want to put my bags down and put my ass down. You see, I'm that girl. Yeah. I gotta, when I go back, it's gotta be so my mind could be clear and I could take it all in. You know, I've been like that. Probably because growing up, my mama didn't let us leave the house unless our bed was made every morning before school. See if we get to school and your bed wasn't made. My mom used to beat That's one of the things that she instilled in me. I give her that. You couldn't leave out your room with the bed not made, baby. Oh no, and you ain't closing no doors in her house. So when you get up, and still to this day, when you get up, make that bed. And to this day, at 42 years old, when I get up, I make that bed. And I think that kind of translated off into, you know, it kind of gave me my personality as to how I like to be when I go back to things. I like things to be made and ready to go when I go back. I don't have to worry about cleaning up and cooking. I don't want to worry about none of that. If I need to stop on the way back and get something just to sit down and relax because I'm tired of the flight or I'm tired, I just rather do that. But ultimately, I'm just joking on here. Happy Friday. I appreciate y'all. Happy Educational Friday for those who pull up at 5 o'clock or around that time. Well, we do Educational Friday. Make sure y'all do that. Basically, Educational Friday is for us to unlearn a lot of the things we learned through the education system and history. And we're going to relearn some real history. We learned about poor whites. And we learning about, recently, we've been learning about extremely well-to-do blacks. Because I was under the impression going to school that all the black people in the South was poor and all the white people in the South was rich. Turns out that was not only a whole bold-faced lie, it wasn't even a whole lot of white folks in the South the majority of that time. Did y'all know that? See, that's what Educational Friday is about. So if you have time, we normally do it on Friday around 5, between 5 and 6. It normally be around 5 though. Between 5 and 6, we get on here and we Joce Educational Friday. It'd be fun, it'd be educational, but it'd be something, some food for thought you could take away from if you're interested. Morning announcements, meditate, pray, ground. The idea is to go within. That's where you are going to find your peace. That is where you're going to find your new life. So please, if you can, I understand weather may not permit it depending on where you are, but meditate, ground, and pray. And also, Black America, do your genealogy. Do your genealogy. If you don't do nothing else in life, do your genealogy. Either you or somebody in the family, find a family historian and do your genealogy. All it is a family tree where you figure out who you are and where you came from. You'd be surprised how your life opens when you know that information. You'd be surprised how physical things happen just by knowing that information. Do your genealogy, okay? Please, 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 please do your genealogy. So we got a show today, y'all. I heard about this Will Smith lawsuit, and shout out to Mims, Make It Make Sense. If y'all want full detail of any lawsuit, please go over there. I don't go down and break down the lawsuits and all of that. Do I look like the lead attorney? Girl, please. I just be over here hearing what the people say, and then I come over here and Joce y'all in the morning and tell y'all what happened. Now, granted, I need to do a little bit better journalism. I'll take responsibility and accountability for that. But I ain't gonna sit down and go through no paperwork, girl. When I be seeing them law people write that stuff, and they be without dial and all, girl, my brain go to, I don't like it. I don't do all of that. So, but I'm gonna tell y'all my opinion, on things that's going on in the matter. So we're gonna discuss Will Smith and his situation. Toilet paper. Yes. Toilet paper has another production that he didn't plan. So the guy who's suing toilet paper, that's Tyler Perry for those who are new. The guy, the Clear LaBumba, who is suing toilet paper for fondling him down in the basement after changing drawers, he done came out and made another tape to double down and say he will not be moved, and y'all just mad because he didn't fondle y'all. Now he didn't say that, but I'm figuring that's how I took it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even take it like that. But no. He basically said that he's doubling down. That man is a predator. And I told y'all toilet paper was a predator. I told y'all toilet paper probably ain't even real. Those who know, but we gonna go with the move. Because you know what I was just thinking about? I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, born and raised. My mama from New Orleans, Louisiana, born and raised. My grandma from New Orleans, Louisiana, born and raised. And one thing we know about the city, everybody know you by what school you went to, what high school. And when you from New Orleans, they say what school you went to. And that's how we know who you is. What school did toilet paper go to? Let me see. You know they're going to put one on Google. What high school did toilet... I was about to say what high school did toilet paper go to. What high school did Tyler Perry attend?
Tyler Perry attended high school in New Orleans, but he didn't graduate. He walked past Carter G. Woodson High School on his way to school, but left before finishing. He later earned his GED and continued his education.
Now, words are powerful. They said he did not graduate from high school as he dropped out due to a struggle life. But then it turned around and said he walked past Carter G. Woodson. Carter G. Woodson is a high school in New Orleans. What does walking past Carter G. Woodson? Because I'm telling you that this is how they be hiding this stuff from y'all. Because they assume that you're not going to catch the little bitty words, and you just gonna focus on the intention of what they want you to hear. Now, he walked past Carter G. Woodson, but what does that have to do with what school he attended? Girl, I'm telling y'all, toilet paper ain't real. All these people popping up out the blue, coming from these places, don't nobody know nothing about them. Girl, I'm okay. I'll be crazy. I'd have been crazy before. I know y'all. I hear y'all in the chat already. Yeah, what's in the middle school? My bad. I hear y'all in the chat already. Oh, here she going. She goes for. Yeah, I'm going there for the D. Toilet paper ain't real. Anyways, and yeah, Carter G. Woodson is a middle school. I just thought about it. So he walked past a middle school. So did he attend that? Because Carter G. Woodson is a middle school. It's not even a high school. So did he walk inside of the middle school? Hold on, because that just changed the game. Toilet paper walked by Carter G. Woodson. Carter G. Woodson is not a high school. I am stand corrected. It is a middle school. So if he walked by Carter G, did he at least pinch the bitch? Like, girl, toilet paper not real. Let's move on. Girl, we gonna talk about Pastor Jamal Bryant cussing y'all ass out, trying to drag for his slut of a wife. And I heard that she was cheated, or he was cheating on Giselle Gizzard, but he didn't never love Gizzard. Everybody know Jamal ain't never loved no Gizzard. You know what I'm saying? Jamal is a punk, you know? But anyways, he done cussed y'all out because his wife came out looking like a slut from the 90s. I ain't gonna lie, I thought she looked good. But given the position, the people in the church took it like that. And he got mad and came and cussed everybody out. We gonna discuss it. This is why I can't do nothing with the church. 50 Cent versus Papoose. Papoose and done clap back at 50 because 50 made a video basically assuming, or what's the word? Not assuming. Insinuating that Clarissa is the hoe and basically Papoose is the pimp. And he did this little old blaxploitation video. I'm gonna show y'all all of it. And it's got basically Papoose basically telling Clarissa, but he got their faces on the people saying, I never loved you, bitch. And she was like, I'm whipping your mother. And then either way, they got into it back and forth and they still beefing. We got that going on. And I also want to talk about this Maurice from Love and Marriage Huntsville. I forgot to put that in the title, but we will discuss it. Either way, y'all, get the likes up on the video, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody in the building. We got a lot to discuss, y'all. Get on up in here. Now, before we get into that, I ain't gonna do too many honorable mentions because I got a lot going on. If y'all haven't already, if you have not already, guys, please be sure to check out my live at the Dollhouse that I did yesterday. Basically, it was about, we talked about Keisha Cole's brother. If y'all haven't been following that story, Keisha Cole's baby brother, who found her in middle school to high school, he basically came out with stories about him meeting her and meeting Frankie. And it's a lot that happened in between that. If y'all want to, y'all make sure y'all go check that out. Oh, here you go. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all go check out that live because, we talked about a lot over there. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We not with you, sir. We not with you, LaBumba. We gonna come back to you. You stay right there. All right. I want to talk about this beef between streamers and rappers, right? So as we all know, rappers are becoming streamers and podcasters. It just is what it is, right? Because they're poor. Yay. You want to know why rappers are becoming streamers and podcasters? Because they're poor is what they are. And it's hard for them to keep up that image of having money because people who really get money is starting to stand next to them. What do you mean by that, boo? I'll let you know. So back in the gap when we were all poor, you know what I'm saying? When all of us was poor in the pockets and in the mind, we would see these people on TV and it didn't matter what it really was. They had this illusion around them as if they were doing so much better through reality TV, through music videos. Every time we saw these rappers and these actors, we like, bro, they get into the bag because they always on red carpets. everything. But the fact of the matter is, all of that was an illusion. That is the illusion that the rapper or entertainer receives when he or she signs whatever contract they sign. They never give them money. They always give them the illusion. Now, does the illusion come with some money? Absolutely. But is the illusion real? No. So these rappers, when we were all poor, just stuck at the house watching TV, dibbling and dabbling on the internet. Yup, MTV Cribs, that's a big one. MTV Cribs, I'm telling you, when we were all poor, just sitting there looking crazy, we didn't know. Well, now the internet has opened up a new world where we can stream, we can podcast, people doing TikTok, people doing Instagram, and they get into more money than these rappers have really ever seen in real life. Let's call a thing a thing. They look like they seen that amount of money, but the fact of the matter is these streamers, these podcasters are getting to more liquid cash, money, than any of these rappers have ever seen in their entire lives. So now, because that is happening, it's kind of like light outshining the dark. With those real money people like the streamers and the podcasters, the academics and all them popping up, it's easy to spot the fraud in the rappers. So now you're going to see a lot of rappers move into social media. You're going to see them on podcasts, streaming, all types of stuff. Everybody's hurting. Rappers, entertainers, athletes, everybody doing it. Okay? So now there's a beef amongst the rappers and the entertainers and the streamers. Academics has taken the streaming world and put it on his back because he claims he have carved a lane. And I'm not going to say he claimed. He did carve a lane, but he carved a lane on the internet that basically blended the two worlds. But Act feels like you rap niggas have been talking down on the streamers, calling us dweebs, calling us weird, calling us lame. And now here it is, y'all coming over to the streamer world. Let me say this. Two things are happening here. First of all, Academic, he is a dweeb. He is. However, it's true that they are now coming over to the very same presence that they look down on. I saw so many actors, so many people in entertainment that would say, oh, them bloggers. And now here they is on YouTube. Everybody's starting a YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? And then it's the worst part. I ain't going to say no name, King, Carlos. But then some of them come over here and don't even want to be called a blogger. Shout out to the King. Carlos, that is. At any rate, it's just a world that's colliding. So now Academics is beefing with streamers, and Soulja Boy, I ain't gonna lie, I think that's the wrong person to beef with, because if Soulja Boy never existed, Academics doesn't exist. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Academics talking about rap niggas, and him and Soulja Boy got a beef back and forth. First of all, Ack is a foreigner. He may not know this, but Soulja Boy was the first rapper, and I know he always said, I'm the first rapper. But Soulja Boy was the first rapper to even take music to the internet. I'm going to say it again. Soulja Boy was the first rapper to take music to the internet via YouTube, via Soulja Boy up in his, okay? If Soulja Boy never existed, I'm not here, Academics ain't here. And I know what y'all thinking, but Voodoo, you don't do music, but I still have a huge influence of hip-hop culture in everything that I do. So if Soulja Boy doesn't exist, Academics doesn't exist. So I understand the plight. I understand the argument. However, Soulja Boy is not the one to have that argument with, because even though he is annoying, even though Soulja Boy get on our nerves, he is Acorn and he is the first to do a lot. He just is. We just don't like to give him credit because he don't look like Jay-Z. And I don't mean physically, because he's not pristine. He doesn't have the look and the attitude that we think a person who's a creator should have. But the fact of the matter is, love Soulja Boy or hate that boy, he is a genius. And you might not see it like that, but the facts are the facts. Facts don't care about your feelings, and feelings always try to control the facts, okay? So let's get into him beefing back and forth with Soulja. So it says, Soulja Boy goes off on Academics for saying streaming kill rappers oral. You fat hot dog eating bitch. Punch you in the stomach and pork chops falling out your ass. So basically, Academics is basically trying to say that streaming kill rappers' aura, basically their image and all that stuff, and they going back and forth. I guess that's what they're saying. Let's get into it, y'all. We'll let them drag for it. Child, this is beef. It's always funny to see Soulja beefing, so.
Need to fix your tweets, nigga, talking about all the rappers.
Oh, wait, before. Academic says 2025 exposed all our favorite cool rappers besides Youngboy and Cardi, and a few more as being lame as F. They just like us internet niggas. Ever since we can't take them serious no more. They just like us. W a little more money in clout. Or I guess with a little more money in clout.
This is lame because they streaming and all that. Well, shut the fuck up with your fat Uber Eats, McDonald's eating ass, 50 Krabby Patties stuffing down your stomach. Bitch, you lame. Nigga, ain't no fucking body lame. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Niggas can stream if they want to, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? Fat piece of shit. I don't like the way you been tweeting, nigga. You need to put Soulja Boy, put my name in there. Don't come, no one said to me, oh, everybody are lame except for Cardi and YB because they streamers now. Academics, you fat hot dog eating bitch. If you don't shut the fuck up and stop tweeting reckless, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? All the rappers lame. Nigga, ain't nobody lame but your fat ass and them 50 Krabby Patties you keep getting from Mr. Krabs and SpongeBob. Fuck is wrong with your stupid ass, nigga? Niggas smack the shit out your fat ass. Talking about some Cardi and YB. Bitch, you the lame nigga. Don't forget you got banned on Twitch. We ain't gonna talk about that, Academics. But watch your fucking mouth, fat piece of shit. You 20 Academics, you need to fix your tweets. Nigga talking about all the rappers is lame because they chicken nugget eating motherfucker punch you in your stomach and pork chops falling out your ass, nigga. Nigga punch you in your chest, nigga. You gonna cough up a chicken nugget. Well, you better sit your fat ass down somewhere tweeting all that bullshit, nigga. Fuck wrong with you, nigga. How the fuck you gonna call all the rappers lame? You know how many rappers it is, bitch? How we lame because we want to get some Twitch money? Shut the fuck up, nigga. I was the first rapper on Twitch, cause I feel like you calling me lame. Don't get on no motherfucking Twitter talking about all rappers lame because they streamers. You the only lame nigga here, Academics. Shut the fuck up.
And let me say this, in in Soulja Boy's defense, he's right. What's happening is two things. Yes, the rappers are running to streamer to get that money. And yes, they are having to go back and show how the old saying go, watch who you do dirty on the way up because you're gonna have to see them on the way back down. That's what the rappers are dealing with. They drag for bloggers, they drag for streamers. Now that rap is dead, they are coming back. However, two things are happening here. Academics is trying to use reverse psychology to shame them into wanting to come and get this money. And Soulja Boy, Saucy Santana, a lot of them is like, you ain't about to do that. I don't give a damn what you say. I don't give a damn what how you trying to post this shit on your internet. Niggas is still come and get this money. And anybody smart will still go get the money. So I see what's going on.
Stupid ass tweeting ass, nigga. Go eat some fucking pork chops, nigga. Get some smothered bologna. Nigga, stop tweeting so fucking much, nigga. Fuck is wrong with you? You hungry or something, nigga? You stupid bitch. Nigga talking about all rappers lame because they streaming now. Shut the fuck up, nigga. You started the streaming shit, you fat bitch. Chicken nugget eating motherfucker punch you in your...
He said, if I signed a rapper, I forbid them going on any streamer platform. Why? Because the face of being bigger than the program, cooler than normal, is what rappers live off. Every time I see a rapper on a stream, I'm reminded this nigga lame like me. He just won the lottery. You see that reverse psychology? Y'all picking up on that reverse psychology? He's trying to flip the script. Now, granted, I told you, these niggas is running to the streamer world, and it is lame that they doing that. But Ack is trying to unbully them or kind of reverse bully them into not coming over. By the words he's saying. Look, he said, the internet removed all mystique from rappers. I just seen a combo where rappers still trying to convince people they are so cool. Bro, we see y'all lives 360. You just corny people as the people you flexing on. You or your audience, or you and your audience, the same streaming, killing rappers aura. He's trying to reverse the psychology on the fact. Yeah, but if them rappers as poor as I think they is, it ain't gonna work. It ain't working. Them people need money, girl. And work ain't honest, but it pays the bills. Act word about. Let me tell you what act word about. I'm gonna be honest. You want to know what act word about?
Academics.
You want to know what act word about? The reason why act has been so successful. Act has little to no competition. Get me up here. Get me up here. Because no, I'm gonna leave them on here because I need y'all to drive it home. The reason why Ack is where he is because he has very little to no competition. You can count on one hand the amount of peoples that Academics has to compete with. Academics also really doesn't have a personality. So if it's slim pickings on who to watch, everybody's going to run to Academics. But oh, God forbid, somebody who already have a name, somebody who has some bit of a fan base, come over to one of them streaming platforms with a whole personality and outdo Ack, then guess what happens to Ack? Guess what happens to Ack? He go away. You get it? Because then people are going to see, wait, there's a better person who's doing this and they funnier and they cooler and they da-da-da-da-da-da. And that's the problem. So what Ack seems to me, and I'm just assuming, it seems like Ack is trying to reverse psychology. Them niggas into coming over there. Yeah, and the money drops. That's the biggest thing. The money drops. You see what I'm saying? So it sounds like he's trying to basically fight for survival. Ack said it's survival. Get Ack up here. Go ahead on, Ack. I ain't mad at Ack. Ack said, man, niggas trying to keep money flowing in their pockets, and we do not need you niggas over here. Ack over there hollering.
It's survival. Survival.
That nigga Ack trying to get it how he live. That nigga said, it's survival, man. I can't have all these niggas running over here on Twitch and Rumble, wherever that nigga at. Man, look, these niggas, you feel me? And let me tell y'all something. Me and Miss Parker was talking about this yesterday. It's one thing for me to lose a channel or something. I lose a couple of thousand. If these niggas fall off in the least bit, it can cost them tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands. See, that's the downside of being really big. And somebody like Ack, who got a team, he got people working for him, he can't afford to have no dip in the chip like that. You get it? I'm talking to y'all about business on the internet. I need y'all to hear me. You don't need no doggone college degree. All you need is common sense. I told you this shit is Johnny got two apples. Ack got a team, Ack got overhead, and Ack got a lifestyle that he got to have money that keeps going. A small drop in Ack can cost him tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. That can go from salary to all types of things that Ack need. Ack is doing what he's supposed to do. Bully them niggas up out of there. But the problem is, Ack is so lame, it ain't gonna work. Them niggas coming over there, Ack. And hopefully I don't know. I don't watch enough Academics, but I'm telling you now, maybe he have a fan base that's deep enough. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he have a fan base that's deep enough where they not going to, because me and Miss Parker was saying this yesterday. Let me tell you this to all the people on YouTube. And I ain't no expert. I'm an observer. You got, when it comes to content creators, you got the people who rock with you, who going to go with you wherever you go, and you got the people who like you. The facts of the matter is, as a content creator, the mass majority of the people don't with me. They just like me. That's just the way of the world. Meaning anything could happen where the mass majority say, and only the ones who really with me is going to stay with me. I tell y'all this about like with the hotties and all that stuff. But I'm saying all that to say, if you don't have nothing to feed to the people, then you're going to you create a fickle mind in them. And you create an avenue, a situation where they want to go somewhere else. Again, right now, the game ain't saturated, but it's getting saturated. And Academics knows that even though he's pulling in hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, the majority of the people that contributes to that hundreds of thousands of dollars a month aren't the people who with him. It's the people who like him. I don't want y'all to miss that. And those people are the fickle people. Those are the people that can go either way. They can be here with you today, and tomorrow they can be like, you see what I'm saying? With that being said, if those people get taken away from him, it completely cuts his whole lifestyle, his whole everything in half. So I'm just, common sense is Johnny got two apples. He's doing what he's supposed to do, but it's inevitable. At the end of the day, the universe is repairing itself. Like I tell y'all all the time, they're getting a lot of people out the way. When y'all start seeing big people go down, know why. I'm going to say it one more time. The universe is repairing itself. When you see that, don't you get in the way, you get out of the way. When you start seeing big people go down, you know why. Sometimes they need these people, spirit, divine, universe, God, whoever you believe in. They need these people to do a task, and then once that task is done, they're done away with. You're going to see a shift. We at the top of 2026. You are going to see a shift of major people that was once sitting here are going to start trickling down. Know why? Because the people who are real gonna remain. Let's move on. I'm just saying. Shaw J, tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Like Shaw J says, the universe is rejecting people. It ain't me. I ain't putting no spell on nobody. That's the universe. It is what it is. I be paying attention. I just be watching, child. I just be over here minding my business all up in everybody else's show. Let's move on. Pay attention, y'all. Don't let this stuff go by. Pay attention. Just pay attention. That's all I can tell y'all. Just pay attention. Wait, before I get to this beautiful woman here, wait, hold on. All right, I want to talk about this Love and Marriage Huntsville, Maurice and Kimmy bit. Some of y'all may not know who these people are, but Maurice and Kimmy are from a show called Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's been on some years now on OWN. This is the King show. Carlos, that is. Carlos King. I used to review the show. As a matter of fact, if you go look back on my old videos, I reviewed this show crazily. But I had to get away because the millimeters were thrown off and crazy than a road lizard. They made it unenjoyable to watch. It was the energy. It was dark. It was nasty. It was a bunch of middle-aged, unhealed old women over there trauma bonding with a bitch who was playing on their energy. But we ain't gonna go there. At any rate, Love and Marriage Huntsville was on the thing. I used to review it, but I walked away from it. I ain't want no parts. Okay? Fast forward. There's a couple in here. The show is based on 3 couples. Kimmy and Maurice. It used to be Martell and what's that girl? Melody. And then it's Marceau and what's his wife's name? Lord, I forgot. Marceau and his old lady. Okay. The show's premise was supposed to be about them being successful real estate people, successful builders and stuff, because they all do real estate, commercial building and stuff like that. We were supposed to see the good side of Huntsville, Alabama. Tisha, that's her name, Marceau's wife. Tisha. Thank you, Thank you, Tiffany. So we were supposed to see the lit side of Huntsville, Alabama, because I ain't gonna hold you. Prior to this show, girl, bitch, you couldn't pay me to go around no Huntsville, Alabama. What's going on out there except a good cookout, some drama, and a bunch of people sleeping and smushing with each other, because that's all that be going on in the country. Liquor and licking. Say what I said. Just came out of Macon. I love the country. I love it. But ain't nothing going on in the country but liquor and licking. Okay? If you're from the country, you know I ain't lying. Girl, go play with your mom. And then in between that, they go to church. But that's neither here nor there. Now, so what's going on in Huntsville kind of, it made me want to go see what's going on. So I'm watching the show and I'm noticing Maurice was the kind of quiet, reserved guy on the show. He didn't quite say much, but something always made me pay more attention to him because he was too quiet and too reserved. You know what I'm saying? So, it started oozing out that Maurice wasn't as the good guy that he seems to be. You know what I'm saying? But then I started paying attention to his words and his actions and things of that nature. His wife, Kimmy, I don't know if y'all know this, she had cancer a few years ago. She had a breast cancer like that, the worst kind. And she went through chemo and all that stuff. And one of the biggest red flags I got from Maurice was he was having issues because while this lady was going through chemo, losing her hair, he still felt like she should have made her body available to him for sex. Again, I get it. In a relationship, you got to make compromises. Sometimes women done had to sleep or slept with men or slept with their husband on nights they didn't really feel like it. It happens. You know what I'm saying? But we talking about your wife fighting for her actual life, her real life. And you still sitting up here saying, I understand that, but I got needs. That to me told me that Maurice, even though he's nice, he's sweet, he's out the way, that nigga is worse than everybody out there. It was in that moment I said Maurice is the darkest nigga on the cast. He just quiet and he light-skinned it, so we can't see it. I said it. Fast forward, Kimmy beats cancer. Congratulations to Kimmy. And I don't watch the show, but I saw this clip of them going to therapy and they still going back through the same old stuff that they've been going through with him needing sex. Now, I'm going to just tell you not right now. I think that Maurice has a sex addiction. I think that Maurice has a sex addiction, and I think that Kimmy knows it. I think that Kimmy knew Maurice had a sex addiction when she met him. I think Kimmy knew Maurice had a sex addiction when she married him. I think Kimmy knew Maurice had a sex addiction all the way up until now and still knows he have a sex addiction. You know what else I know? I feel like Kimmy knows. Kimmy knows that when she don't give him what he want, he going to get it by any means necessary. And if you want me to translate that, she know her nigga be in them streets. She know that nigga outside. But I've been told y'all, Tisha, Kimmy, and Mel knew they niggas was outside. Y'all only wanted to look at Marceau as the bad guy. But my mom always told me, show me your friends, and they tell me a lot about you. So if Marceau was dropping off UPS dick, I already knew DHL and goddamn FedEx was behind him. And let me say this. I have a major problem with Maurice, but my bigger problem is with Kimmy. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Let's get into this clip of them on the show at counseling and Maurice still talking about he can't get enough sex. It said a new clip from Love and Marriage Huntsville is stirring up a conversation online after Maurice Scott and his wife Kimmy Grant appeared to open up during a session during what looks like a candid therapy session. In the scene, the married couple is seated with a therapist as a pointed question is raised about whether the marriage can sustain physical intimacy without emotional intimacy, a topic that immediately caught viewers' attention once the clip surfaced on social media. Married peoples, please chime in. Let me say this before we move on. Understand what intimacy is. Intimacy doesn't have to always mean sex. You can be intimate in a platonic situation. When you hug your mother, that is a form of intimacy. When you hug your old man, that is also a form of intimacy. You can sleep with your man and that be intimacy, but you can hold hands with your grandchild and that's still intimacy. Y'all are blinded to believe that intimacy is only sex. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, sex is the least form of intimacy because there's not a lot of real connection there because most people go into it selfishly trying to catch a nut. But that's a whole nother story. Okay, let's get into the clip and I'll come right back with some commentary, y'all. Like the video, please. They said we was 500 likes short earlier. Y'all, please like the video. I'm up here working hard now. Like the video now.
Mind, you really think that most women are able to just sexually perform several times a day, every day?
I heard coming up that I can lay down longer than you can stand up.
Oh, who told you that?
I mean, it's a saying I heard coming up.
Oh, dear. In your mind, you really think that most women are able to just sexually perform several times a day, every day?
I heard coming up that I can lay down longer than you can stand up.
Now, that's an old school term. I've never heard of it, but it sounds old school because I'm a nigga. He said, I've heard the term that I can lay down longer than you can stand up. Is that what he said? No, you can lay down longer than I can stand up. That basically means you should always be able to give up some coochie. That's some old country shit. That y'all remember when I used this before? Yeah, it's the same thing when put a 3 in the chat if you used to watch Good Times. Remember when James said Florida ain't two places but a woman need to be. And she said, James, don't say it, James. And he said, nah, I'ma say it. And she said, don't you say it, James. And then he turned around and said, the kitchen in the bedroom, Florida. The kitchen in the bedroom. Remember that? It's one of them isms. It's one like that. Yeah. One of them old what do you call it? Not patriotic, patriarchal, old school juke joint, drunk uncle, moseying on home from the ball. Yeah, one of them type of isms. It's that. So if he's carrying that in 2025, what does that tell you about his mentality, ladies? If that's his mentality in 2025, what does that tell you about his mentality? Number one, it tells me the men who groomed him taught him to think of women that way, in an objectifying way. That's the first thing. Because you won't even take into account when your wife going through damn chemotherapy, my nigga. Ooh, but this the one she chose.
Oh, dear.
What does the plan look like based on what you guys have shared today? Because Kimmy needs more time and connection and those things.
It's not gonna happen, Doc.
Why are you saying it's not going to happen?
That's the.
Oh, dear.
What does the plan look like based on what you guys have shared today? Because Kimmy needs more time and connection and those things.
It's not gonna happen, Doc.
He said not gonna happen. So what you think he gonna do? And this is the worst part. Kimmy could give him all the sex in the world. He probably has such a sex addiction where it ain't even about her coochie. He just like go and get it. Maurice dropping off Donkey Kong dick down all up and down Huntsville streets, girl. And Kimmy knows it. Kimmy ain't slow. She know all of that. Kimmy on the internet and on the TV saving face.
That's the space. But that's the space. That's why we're here.
Is that what that's what you're feeling?
Energy.
Like if we
when he says that, that's frustrating to me.
But he said,
and that's what pisses me off about you, Kimmy. You are so smart. I was gonna say you stupid, but you're not stupid. You just smart enough to be stupid and make 10 to yourself like you not. And you make 10 to yourself so well that you're not stupid, that you project that out to us. And we looking at you saying, but Kimmy, we looking at you, you stupid. Girl, what are you doing? You see that energy, it bothers. No, it don't. It can't bother you. Bitch, you just survived cancer and you still shoulder to shoulder with this nigga? He basically gave you an ultimatum and made you bust your coochie open in the middle of chemotherapy, and you still shoulder to shoulder with that nigga. Don't act like the energy bothers you that much. No, it don't. No, it don't. You just say that because it pacifies your mind enough for you to feel like, okay, I said enough to make it seem like I'm mad, but I'm really not. Ooh, I'm glad you brought this up. I was watching Pastor, what's his name? Darnell. I cannot remember his name, but it was so funny you brought this up. Somebody was he was talking about boys who get who are hypersexual, or men who are hypersexual. And you know what it dawned on me when he said it's two ways a boy goes when he has been abused as a child. He said he can either go gay or he can go hypersexual. And the thing is, I noticed that a lot of us typically look at men who are hypersexual as automatically being gay, but ultimately that's not always the case. A lot of men go hypersexual because they were molested or raped or sexually assaulted as a child. That's the same thing women do. Y'all ever heard of some women who've been touched on or whatever the case, and trigger warning, but when they get older, they go fall, they go prostitute, they go, you know what I'm saying? They be hella promiscuous. I think that that's the same. I know that that's the same thing in boys. So they don't always go gay. Some of them do go hypersexual. And I do think that being hypersexual, I think that path can lead to being gay. But I don't think everybody goes gay. But no, yeah, it's funny you say that because I was just listening to that lecture this morning. That's crazy. But no, with Maurice and Kimmy, the problem is not Maurice. The problem is the Kimmys of the world who hone the Maurices. She knows who she married, but she gonna get on this internet and play like this is surprising and this is hard to hear and hard to deal with. You dealing with it on a day-to-day basis. But Kimmy is the type of girl, like a lot of these, especially the ones in the South. Everybody want to be able to say my husband. Bitches don't even want to really be married in real life. Everybody want to be able to say my husband. Everybody want to be able to have a ring on their finger so they can stand in front of the next person and be like, my man, my man, my man, my man. That's what this is all about. The imagery of what it really is, because it ain't what you really think it is. Kimmy is the type of girl gotta save face. It's the same thing we're gonna talk about with Pastor Jamal Bryant and his wife. These women have to save face because the status that they hold comes with the things that they have, okay? I don't want to spend too much time.
Because it's a negative thought and it doesn't perpetuate positivity.
That's the space. But that's the space. That's why we're here.
Is that what that's what you're feeling?
Energy.
Like if we
Kimmy is the problem here. He's the problem for his own personal situation. But let me tell you why Kimmy plays more of a problem to me. Because Kimmy owns an environment, a very safe environment for the Maurices of the world to go out and do God knows whatever he's doing. And take Maurice out the way. Let's say Kimmy was a regular woman and Maurice was a regular man. It be women who be married to the Maurices of the world and them niggas be out there sexually assaulting women. Them niggas be out there raping women. Them niggas be out there doing all types of stuff. Why? Because they have that safe haven at home. That wife who either turns the other cheek, close her eyes, or who know about it and gonna defend them and windmill behind them, 90 going left. The Kimmys of the world are part of the main problems because you can go to them and say, hey girl, your husband did X, Y, Z. They'll drag you down to the ground knowing their husband ain't shit. It's the Kimmys of the world. I don't feel sorry for Kimmy. Kimmy right where Kimmy want to be. She's so smart, so beautiful, so intelligent, but like we all do, we get dick dumb when it comes to niggas. But at this age, Kimmy got to be 50. Girl, what is your excuse? Kimmy needs to go heal. And Maurice, I'm pretty sure he violating bitches in Huntsville. I promise you, that nigga probably going around Huntsville violating bitches. And ain't nothing gonna pop out at home because Kimmy at home waiting for him to come home and she gonna save face by all means. Child, it's ridiculous. I get him away from here. That's good. I hope they love each other. I hope they love each other because, baby, when that girl was going through chemo and that nigga said, but I still have needs, bitch. Girl, everybody ain't need, but everybody different, child. Because that told me everything he felt about. That told me what he really felt about her in real life, you know? All right, I want to get into this 50 Cent versus Pap bit. No. Before I do that, I want to share some wisdom from this old lady. This lady talking about, and then we're going to move on. This lady was talking about Columbus. Now, this is the old folklore, past oral tradition. This lady is 90-something years old. 97, I think. Don't give me the line. Hold on. 95. Now, when y'all be asking me, Vu, how do I do my genealogy? And I tell you to go talk to the elders in your family. This right here is exactly what I'm talking about. You need to speak to the elders of your family. Remember, I told y'all I went to my grandmother and asked her to tell me about her grandmother. The reason for doing that is because you can cover a span of 100 years just by talking to one person. 200 if you count the person you talking to. So, for instance, this lady is 95 years old. If she's going to speak about her grandfather, that's 200 years of your lineage of information that you getting. If you want to know how to start your genealogy, start at the eldest person in the family. Talk to them about what they know. But she's talking about what the folklore was about what Christopher Columbus, who he was and how they found him on the shore. So you know how they teach us that Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492 and came to America, which he never came to the North, but the Americas or whatever the case may be. What she's going to give us is a story that the old people used to say back then of what happened with Christopher Columbus. Y'all like the video?
Like people was already here. That's a bald-faced lie. He didn't discover no America. And the ship got in troubled water. And them black men was already here. The black people was already here. So they went out in that ocean and rescued Columbus off that ship. But they didn't have no knowledge, no or learning or nothing. And then he came here and he put him into slavery. It saved his life. But he's a bald-faced lie when he said he discovered America. That's a bald-faced lie. If my black relative didn't went out there and to rescue his butt when that the turbulence was tearing up them ships, he wouldn't have been here. So black people didn't know. All they knew was living off the land, and they didn't know how to fight for themselves.
Right.
He put the black people into slavery. And the big old giant. My grandfather was tall, and he wasn't afraid of nothing and nobody, white or black, short or tall, fat or thin. He wasn't afraid of nothing.
What was your grandfather's name?
John Jordan. Everybody call him Johnny.
Yeah, how she getting that genealogy information? Her grandma 95 years old. So that would mean 95 years from what year we in 2025? Her grandma was born in the what? Early 20s? Early 30s? Maybe, yeah, late 20s, early 30s. If she can tell you about her grandfather, and her grandfather was at least 50 when she was in the 30s, then that means you all the way back to 70s of information. Now you know who your great-great-grandfather is, John Johnson. Hello, genealogy. I'm showing you how you start. If you want to start, you got to start at home. Start there. Hold on.
John Jordan put the black people into slavery.
But I just wanted to show y'all that because number one, she was spitting. Basically, her, according to the folklore of the black people who were around then before they put it in the book by the white boy, they were saying that Christopher Columbus was stuck at sea and they went and rescued him. Now, mind you, Christopher Columbus was black. He was a Negro pen. But when they rescued him, he came and bought them things and taught them things that they didn't know, or basically gave them things. And that's how he was able to take over the land. Now, I have the book that came before Columbus. It is a very good read. If y'all get a chance to go get it, it goes further into detail. It don't start by saying that I can remember. It don't start saying that he was lost at sea, but I'm pretty positive that's what it was. They saw him out there stuck, went and got him like we always do. Black people in the Caribbean and black people in America, we operate the same with our open door policy. All we want to do is see somebody, oh, come on in, feed them, clothe them. We all like that. That's one quality I will say melanated people on the Western world, we all have. We too damn nice. So it would make more sense that happened, though. I just wanted to share that with y'all. I want to move to this 50 Cent versus Papoose bit. So 50 and Papoose is beefing. We talked about it a bit the other day, but we're going to go into it a little bit more. So 50 Cent is beefing with everybody because a lot of people are mad about the documentary. Now, we all know 50 Cent is beefing with Fabulous, Mano, Dave East and them, because basically they came out with their commentary on the documentary and they felt like, it was lame on the part of 50 because we done all did dirt. It's one thing to let the white boy drag Diddy, but for you to come back and do it, it's on some lame stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, I can understand that. And we all done came up in a dirty world, bitch. Don't turn righteous and try to turn no books on me, ho. Bitch, we all just because you done cleaned up, bitch, now you want to turn around and look at me. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. But 50 was supposed to be beefing with them, but 50 decides one day randomly to just post this video, and he put AI photos of Papoose on Clarissa Shields on the 70s blaxploitation video, and he had Papoose on the guy's portion. Now, this is the thing. This is the hard hit on this little AI video that 50 posted. The premise of this clip is the man is a pimp, and the lady is a whore. Now, mind you, he's got Clarissa face on the lady, and he got Papoose face on the pimp. So that would mean that Papoose is representing the pimp, Clarissa is representing the hoe. Now, I'm going to let y'all see the video so y'all can understand why this video was so doggone messed up, because he's implying that Papoose is over there pimping Clarissa. Look.
I did for you. I did it because I love you. Don't you felt the same way about me?
Me? Love you? Bitch, you got to be crazy. I use you. You're a toy, bitch. A freak. You get your big country, greasy, back to the country where you belong.
I'm gonna kick your ass. Everything.
So as you can see, and 50 says, now you see that's assault. You can't just go around putting your hands on people. Happy New Year. So 50 did start with Papoose. He did. And this, and I'm telling you, man, I keep telling y'all want to know the unmitigated truth. The only 2 times you hear the truth from people is through Mad Day and a joke. How many times do I have to tell y'all this? A lot of celebrities know how to be trolled. They be making it like they trolling their other celebrity friends, but they really be spilling their tea. I'm telling you. So basically, 50 is on here making fun of Clarissa and Papoose, and then Papoose responds. Let me turn this down. So Papoose takes an AI video and put it on this lady's, on this body, on this buff dude or man's body, and says, no, stop deflecting, Curtis. The world is still waiting for your response to fabbing them. You from Southside, do something. Fight or flight. Holla if you need a Ghost Rider chump. So basically what Papoose is saying is, don't try to deflect it to me. So what happened was Davies, Fabulous, Mano, and all of them dropped a diss track on Curtis, 50 Cent Jackson. Instead of 50 Cent responding to that, what Papoose is saying is, you're deflecting. You're using me as a deflection. Don't come over here messing with me and my bitch. Go respond back in the booth. That is what Papoose is telling back to 50 while trolling him with this AI video. So then 50 saw it and 50 responded and he says, look what Pat posted. Ha, ha, ha. That looked like one of his joints. All his hoes handsome. They tougher than him. LOL. So again, Clarissa and them catches it straight. Clarissa and Remy in this point, because basically he's saying that, hey man, you tried to troll me and put me on a buff bitch body when they all your bitches look like that. Basically calling them nigga looking bitches. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, it was a cute little yinga zinger comeback. It really was. So then after that, it's going, girl, they're going back and forth. So now after that, Papoose says, 50 goes back. 50 posted this. He says, that's the 5th little New York nigga this week. So now 50 posts this real picture of Papoose real hair. Now, you know, we rarely see Pap without the hat. So 50 posts this video of Papoose real hair. And he got this guy on the video. I don't know who this guy is. He's from New York. I can hear his accent. Let's get into this video 50 posted.
Posted? I know. And then they blocked me because I said 50 gonna bomb your ass. Yeah. I'm gonna let the people know because this shit is crazy. Look at him. Must be stressed out. I think it's knocked him out for New Year's. The nigga woke up and wasn't thinking. All right, bro. I'm gonna let them know. All right. What you about to drop an album or something? That shit gonna flop. I don't know what's going on. What the f is going on up there? You look crazy. My son 50 say he not scared of you, Dusty. You's a Dusty to him. Your career ain't never go nowhere. He don't respond to females that wear the pants. He told me you don't respond to females that wear the pants. You the big, and Clarissa the you heard? I'm sorry, that's how it is. We don't 50-50, yeah. You see what this dirty just posted? I know.
So 50 posted that, like I said, the caption said, this the 5th little dirty New York nigga this week. Nigga called him a dirty nigga. And it don't help that his hair look like that. Because Papoose is dirty. And quiet as his kept, Remy was dirty all the way up until she came back from jail this last time. Y'all, can we be honest? Remy and Pap was dirty together. They was. Y'all gotta be honest. Make America honest again now. Let's make America honest again. If it wasn't for Ra Ali helping Remy, she'd have came back dirty too. They both dirty. I ain't gonna lie, they dirty. Clarissa dirty. She just got money, you know? Y'all know what I'm talking about when I say dirty. You know, it's the aura. So then Papoose posts another video of 50, say why everybody keep comparing 50 to a bitch. It's because he gossips so much. Why he still ain't respond to Let's Rap About It? That's the song from Mano and them. He know he ain't nice for real. Gotta go apologize to Banks Chump. You need him right now. Hashtag bars on wheels. Hashtag Papoose. So then Papoose posted another video again. The girls are fighting on the internet. But 50 is deflecting. You're right. Somebody said 50 is deflecting because where are the bars? Can I be honest, y'all? You know, when I found out 50 Cent was named after a real dude in New York named 50 Cent, who was a real go-getter, a real hood nigga. Then I started looking back at them old pictures of 50 Cent being a fat-ass kid. I ain't gonna hold you. My spidey senses started tingling and my wheels started spinning. And I started saying to myself, is 50 who we think he is? And I'm saying all that to say in 2025 because it's time to put out the bars. You right? I'm pretty sure you got a studio wherever you go. Put the bars out. But I believe, because I'm a conspiracy theorist, I believe that a lot of these people were made in factories, okay? And they had a lot of ghostwriters. I believe Eminem was another white boy science social experiment made in a factory. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I don't even think he wrote that shit. I don't even think Eminem wrote the shit he wrote. Okay? Remember, coming out the West Coast with NWA and all of them came a lot of fraud. NWA worked directly from the CIA. And guess what? Ice Cube said it out his mouth. I didn't say it. Ice Cube said it. So I don't know. Everything ain't what it seems. It does seem odd that he's not responding back to the rap. But also two things can be true at one time. Papoose, you was dirty. And ultimately, 50 was wrong for starting. I'll just go with that. I don't know, y'all, but I'm just telling y'all, everything ain't what it seems. See, the enemy relies on you depending on these two eyes to tell you everything you need to know. And as long as you only rely on these, you're going to always be misled. Because the internet guarantees that you just going to use these and go with the move. That's the problem. Toilet paper, let's move on. Toilet paper's victim has come out and had more to say, y'all. Let's get into it now. I know y'all don't know this, but before we move on, I told y'all I've been paying more attention to Pap. Before we move on from Pap and Clarissa, I told y'all I've been paying more attention to Pap. Now, Clarissa done cooked this dry ass food because she probably got a fight coming up. But bitch, because you fighting don't mean that man gotta eat like that. But again, Clarissa looked like she come from a household where they made noodles in the microwave. No shade, I made noodles in the microwave, but at least my mama cooked too. Clarissa come from a household where that's all they had to survive. You get it? So her having money right now, she don't even know where to start with a real meal. She know how to eat like a boxer, so that's how she cook. Clarissa one made this dry ass chicken with that dry ass brown rice and them dry ass spinach and put it on that plate and put it in front of Pap. And wanted us to think that she around there cooking, being domestic. And Pap, I want to call you down to the red carpet. You down there trying to make it seem like you like the shit, and the evil and the lies is oozing up out your skin, nigga. We can see through the video and through the phone and the screen that you over there lying to keep your place in that girl life so you can take that girl money. You ain't shit, Papoose. Let's get into it. I'm telling you, Pap, your mask slipping, bro. Your mask is slipping, but that's the universe too. Look.
Man of the hour, my man Papoose. Baby, rate the food 1 through 10.
Listen, man, this food is amazing. The way you seasoned it.
Okay.
It was cooked perfectly.
Period.
Thank you, man. I need an update.
You okay?
Great job.
But what 1 through 10?
I already told you it's an 11.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I have the man of the
Both of them are performing. She's performing for the cameras. He's performing for the cameras. She's trying to prove to us that she loves her man and he loves her. And he's trying to prove to y'all that he like her enough so y'all can get off his ass. It's almost like somebody said action and he went into action mode. It's very performative. They both are performative. That's why she stay on the internet. It's very performative. He liked her just as much as he liked that food on the plate. Girl looked like Papoose shriveled up that chicken a little bit, messed around with that rice and that spinach, and threw the plate out there. I mean, the plate don't even look appealing. It looked like something you eating before you fight. Bitch, I'm not about to fight. You about to fight. Bitch, where the spaghettis and meatballs? Bitch, the fuck? Where the baked macaroni? Girl, what is you saying? Girl, you about to fight, not me. Papoose, your slip showing, bro. Remy said you wasn't worth a dime. Mm-hmm. Yes, she did. Remy said you wasn't worth 2 nickels rubbed together. Yes, she did. And she said you a user. And she said you gonna use that girl. And she said, what else Remy said? Girl, Remy. Let's move on to toilet paper. Mm-hmm. And Clarissa gonna get her karma. Both of them gonna get their karma. Clarissa and him gonna get his karma. Mm-hmm. Let's move on. Toilet papers, La Bamba. La 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 bamba. So Tyler Perry had a hankering for an empanada and decided to invite an extra over to the crib to go down to his basement. He took me to his crib, the house where his mama lived. Then he took me to his room. He said, bend over, let me give you some. Yeah. Toilet paper is over there recruiting empanadas and white bread and wheat bread to come around there and get double stuffed. Now, we done found out he's a top, which was too much information for me. And we also found out he carrying heavy down there. Yeah. I don't know who didn't hear it before, but I heard it, so you got to hear it too. He says heavy. Yeah, they say it's heavy. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a gay man, so it don't turn me on. But to know that bit of information, it does make me look at him a bit different. They say it's heavy. I don't know. I don't be at the studio, and I don't take it in my booty, so I don't know. But they say it's heavy. At any rate, toilet paper has a hankering for empanadas, white bread, wheat bread, whole milk, type teas. So he decides, allegedly, according to these lawsuits, that he want to invite people down to the dungeon. Oh, yes. Make them change their drawers on the way in. Allegedly. He want to bring these niggas down to the dungeon and make them do strange things for a piece of little change. Now, who this is here? This here La Bamba dude, he has recently come out and said toilet paper invited him over. Now, mind you, he's an extra trying to get his foot in the dough, and it's giving you trying to get more than your foot in the dough. But allegedly, he said that he was running there trying to get his foot in the dough, and toilet paper was saying, oh, come by the house. Come over here. We gonna discuss the script. So my boy who claimed he decided to go by the crib, and he said he got there. I told y'all yesterday he had to change his drawers at the door. He said he thought it was odd, but he wanted to get his dreams to come true. So he just went on and changed his drawers at the door. He walked in. He said it was fire-breathing people, demons coming out, sex dungeons. He said Candy and Ty was in the corner. He didn't know what was going on. And I was over here saying, I knew them hoes was down there, bitch. You ain't had to tell me. They stay in the dungeon. You feel what I'm saying? But we're not going to go off on Candy and Ty. This is not about them. So fast forward, I'm trying to give y'all the clip notes of what happened. So fast forward, he had to go down there to discuss the script. And when he got down there to discuss the script, he had to give up a little tip, if you know what I mean. Now, it was all cool at first, even though he felt a little violated. It was all cool at first, or whatever the case may be. But then he started needing things. He needed his teeth fixed. He needed things fixed around the house. And toilet paper was acting a little funny. You know what I'm saying? At any rate, it's been said, I watched a little bit of memes, that they have text messages released of the boy asking toilet paper for money. Oh, I need my teeth fixed. I need this, that done, and da. It was giving sugar daddy, sugar, you know, sugar plum, you know, and it went left. Now, I'm telling y'all, before we move forward, I believe this man was implanted in Turley Paper's life, but neither here nor there. The man came out yesterday with a video telling us about his claims, and also the lawsuit was filed. Please go to Make It Make Sense. He got it over there, breaking it down real good. Go over there by Mims. He's going to tell y'all what happened. But either way, ever since then, he has another video. Now, one thing I noticed, this video looks eerily similar to the last video. So I don't know if he recorded these around the same time, or maybe he's just sitting at the same table. It just looks similar. But he's coming back with more video to basically double down on the original claims that Turley Paper was out there fondling him. Now, he ain't the first person. He ain't the second person. Okay? He is one of many who come around there telling y'all that Turley Paper is using the plight of black women to stick up these niggas' booty. Because that's what I see. You taking the pain of black women, making money off of it, so you can go make it rain on these men. And I refuse to allow you to do it, Turley Paper, putting out that trash ass content. Anyways, the man came back and he has more to say. Tyler Perry's sexual assault accuser, Mario Rodriguez, encourages social users to ask why Turley Paper was sending him money after the Madea film wrap. He says Turley Paper knows what he did. The evidence that's going to come out is going to shock you guys. Child, Turley Paper's second sexual assault accuser is speaking out again. Mario Rodriguez is now claiming that the text messages showing him allegedly begging Tyler for more money actually proves his point. If you recall, after news broke that Rodriguez was suing Tyler Perry at Lionsgate for $77 million, a series of text messages were released that quickly went viral. In the messages, Rodriguez is allegedly seen asking Perry for money due to a dental issue he says he was experiencing. In one message, he repeatedly wrote, "I don't want to get sepsis and die like my dad." After social media users called him out for panhandling, Rodriguez pushed back, claiming the messages actually support his allegations and raises questions about why Perry was financially assisting him after the film Boo. A Madea Halloween wrap. It says Tyler Perry knows what he did, Rodriguez claimed. Now, before I move on, let me just say this. Ethics-wise, Tyler Perry was all the way in the wrong. He should not be doing anything personal with nobody he worked with or worked under, for sure. I don't give a damn if they never touched and they never slept together. His employee should not feel comfortable, and it should not be lines that cross, especially when you run a huge corporation like Turley Paper Studios. There should never be a situation where your employee could call you on your personal phone and say, "Hey, loan me $20 to get my root canal." I'll tell you what, can you call your boss right now and ask them to loan you $20 to get your teeth fixed? And the ones of y'all who can know why. You get it? I ain't hating. I had a boss or two like that. I ain't hating. I had a boss or two like that. You feel me? I'm not mad at it. I'm never gonna knock the hustle. But what I'm telling y'all is the first ethic line that he crossed was the fact that they were even intimate in that situation at all. Okay? Let's be clear now. It goes on to say Rodriguez doubled down in a response video saying more details surrounding the case will be released and that social media will be shocked by what comes out. He insisted everything will eventually make sense and urged social users to stay tuned as he prepares to reveal more. Okay, let's get into what he has to say, y'all. Y'all like the video if you haven't already. Get the likes up, y'all. Wait, let me see. Is the video he did yesterday on here?
Guys.
That's the text messages. Yeah, this is the original video. Let me play the original video, then we're going to go back to the new one. So this is the first one.
Hello, everyone. Just checking in with you guys about the news that I mentioned a couple days ago. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about sexual assault and harassment and why the people stay silent. For a long time, guys, I didn't want to say anything. And I wanted to tell you guys why I didn't want to say anything. But when it happened to me, I felt ashamed. I was scared because of the judgment and the questions that people were going to start asking, almost like if they were going to blame me for just being there. Well, I felt all of that, guys, when a very big director, a very seriously powerful person that everybody knows, invited me over to his house to talk about roles and upcoming things that he was writing. Hello, everyone.
Oh, no.
I was telling myself, like, man, like all of my dreams are coming true right now. Like my opportunities at my front door right now. So much excitement going through my body. And then, guys, it happens. You know, my boundaries were crossed. You feel like this person feels like they got power over you because of the situation and the opportunity that presented itself in front of you. And then you and how fear can somewhat keep you quiet and keep you silent.
And what he's explaining is a power dynamic that happens between a boss and an employee. This is why employers, major companies, in their bylaws, if you don't know your company's bylaws, you need to go read them. But in all companies in America's bylaws, most of them at least, the standard is that upper management cannot sleep with or frolic, date, or in any way capacity deal with lower management. Not because these aren't two consenting adults. It's because when you're in upper management and you have the power to shape someone's career and or their life, you automatically have an upper hand. That can cause you to get things or have things that the person wouldn't normally do for others because they get intimidated, if it makes sense. It's almost like going to lunch with your coworkers versus going to lunch with your boss. When you go to lunch with your coworkers, you're going to be like, girl, I'm so tired of Kim. Every day this bitch come to work, You comfortable there so you can talk to your coworker because there's no fear of being fired, no fear of reciprocity, no fear of none of that. But if you have to go to lunch with your boss, first of all, you scared because why? And then second of all, even if you're not scared, you're not going to have that same conversation. It's because there's a dynamic there that says, I'm here and you're there. Not literally, but you know what I mean? In the sense of the job. So Tyler Perry even having these people come over to his home to discuss a script is immorally and ethically wrong. You cannot do that. Anything business-wise should have been handled in an open area at the office where other people are during work hours. I don't know what his work hours are. His work hours could be 24/7. But anything business-wise happen at home is 100% automatically wrong. The law, the federal law tells you as an employee that you should be safe when you are under jurisdiction or any type of management of any company. That's why if you get violated, you can sue the company. You get it? So even if toilet paper never did nothing and this man lying about him fondling him, the fact that you brought him to your crib gives that man ground for you to lose this case because you morally and ethically messed up. I hope that makes sense.
Well, I stayed quiet for much too long. And I just want to say I'm really sorry, man, because if I would have spoken up sooner, I could have saved somebody that this probably happened to after me. I just want to say sorry for that. Whoever that may be, it could have stopped with me if I would have said something, but I do apologize and I'm speaking up now. I was telling myself like, man, like all of my dreams are coming and getting it out there and talking about it, most importantly.
And can I say this too? Because I want to say it while it's on my brain. I'm going to be honest. I'm not victim shaming, but I'm going to be honest. A lot of people be going through stuff, traumatic stuff, and they cool with it because whatever they getting out of it. Let me say that again. A lot of people could know they getting essayed down at the job. They could know they getting sexually harassed down at the job. They could know this mother effer is inappropriate as F. But it's cool as long as I'm benefiting from it. But the second I don't benefit from it, I'm going to throw you out there. I did it. They had this boss that used to flirt with me at work all the freaking time. I'm talking about inappropriately flirt with me down to the ground. And I used to let him flirt. I ain't never stop him. I knew ethically and morally he could get in a lot of trouble, but I just let him flirt. And then one day he tried to correct me on some work shit, and I threw that shit back in his face, and that nigga stood back and was like, yay. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that I wasn't a victim. He was violating me by sexually harassing me on the job every day. However, I willingly stayed in that position so it could benefit me. I'm not talking to you about you. I'm talking to me about me. I could have nipped that shit in the bud day one, but I knew that this is going to benefit me at some point in the time in the future. So I allowed this man, and plus to me, I'm a hard girl, sexual harassment, whatever. I'm not saying that it's not wrong. I'm saying for me, I got hard skin. I done heard way worse by better. Okay. So what I'm telling you is for me, I allowed this man to every day come in and do that shit until it benefited me. And when it benefited me, it did. Because when he tried to correct me on some work shit, I said, I know you fucking lying. What? After when I tell you that man never bothered me ever since, but I'm saying all that to say that is a thing that happens as well. I believe in this situation and situations like this, these people, a lot of them recognize they're being violated. And I'm not calling them not a victim, but I do think that a lot of them stay in these situations until it benefits them. And when it no longer benefits them, now it's, I'm about to go tell. It's a human reaction. We all do it. Because my thing is, you was comfortable with it so much so forth. Y'all were back and forth asking each other for money. Women do this too. Y'all were back and forth asking each other for money. I love you, you love me, da 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 da. And now it's mad day, and now it's, oh, I should have spoke up before. You didn't speak up before because it benefited you. You see what I'm saying? And again, it's not victim shaming by no means. I'm just giving y'all all perspectives.
And so be it. And I just want to apologize once again, guys, because I'm sorry I can't really talk about more than what I've talked about right now. But I will be giving you guys an update very soon about the whole situation that happened in detail. So stay tuned. And thank you guys for hearing me out. I appreciate it.
Because, baby, he couldn't have me. Toilet paper could have never told me come talk about the script in the dungeon. Bitch, you a lie. You a lie, the devil is a lie, and you got buku money. Girl, enough for me to get down to the dungeon and Candy and Ty jump out on me. Next thing you know, I'm going down to the dungeon, bitch. I'm thinking I'm just trying to see about my part. The lights go out and all I hear is, every man. Bitch, I might not make it. You feel what I'm saying? I might not come up out of there. And it ain't going to be from violation. It's going to be from a heart attack. I'm just saying. We gotta be honest. Make America honest again. I'm just saying, I personally wouldn't have went down there to talk about the script. Not with toilet paper. Not with toilet paper. I wouldn't have went down there to talk about the script. I just wouldn't have did it. I'm not saying other people would have. For me, I wouldn't have went. Everybody different. Everybody different. Okay. Now let's move forward into the recent video, because people saw the text messages of him going back and forth asking toilet paper for money to pay his bill. So the people was like, boy, was you a sugar baby or no? Like, what's going on? So now the man came back and was like, girl, I'm really a victim. I'm just showing you that, yeah, I was asking him for money, but you looking at it wrong. That's what victims do. We ask for money, girl. That's what the boy about to tell y'all, girl. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, first and foremost, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank every single one of you guys who came and reached out to me and messaged me and showed me love and support. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, seriously. It takes a lot of courage to move forward and put yourself out there like the way I did. But Tyler Perry knows what he did, man. He knows what he did. And the text messages that he released the other day, they prove that Perry was sending me money after Madea. The thing that you guys got to ask yourself is why? I'll give you guys more updates as soon as we get closer to the trial. The evidence that's going to come out is going to...
Hold on. Oh, is that it? Oh.
I want to thank you guys again. I appreciate all the love and support. And if you don't, I still appreciate it either way.
Wait, what did he say at the end of the last video?
Hey guys, first and foremost, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank every single one of you guys who came and reached out to me and messaged me and showed me love and support. I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, seriously. It takes a lot of courage to move forward and put yourself out there like the way I did. But Tyler Perry knows what he did, man. He knows what he did. And the text messages that he released the other day, they prove that Perry was sending me money after Madea. The thing that you guys got to ask yourself is why? I'll give you guys more updates as soon as we get closer to the trial. The evidence that's going to come out is going to...
Okay, that's where it cut off. I thought he had more to say. So this is the guy, and he's saying that the evidence is going to shock us. I'm going to be honest. I think that there was a mutual relationship at one point going on between Tyler Perry and this man. However, because Tyler Perry is the owner and CEO and operator of Tyler Perry Studios, he's automatically in the wrong. Whether the man was violated or it was consensual, Tyler Perry is automatically in the wrong. He employs people. He's an employer, not an employee. Tyler Perry is no different from Sam Walmart. You get it? He's an employer. He has rules and ethics that he has to follow as an employer. That's why if you go to your job tomorrow and God forbid somebody touch on you or sexually harass you, they're going to fire them people on the spot because they have a ethics and moral code that they have to uphold in order to be in good standing. Tyler Perry is an employer. Tyler Perry Studios is an employer. Okay? You cannot cross those lines from business to personal when you are an employer. Mr. McDonald's can't tell you, girl, come by my house. We got a party this weekend. That don't go like that. Quiet as it's kept. Your manager not supposed to be inviting you over to the crib to play cards. None of that's supposed to happen. The only people you're supposed to be frolicking with when you at work is your co-workers, not the people who above you, the people who are on the same playing field with you. According to law, that's the only people you have reign to go play with. So Tyler Perry having this situation, and this is not the first time we've heard this from other people, automatically he's in the wrong. Automatically, he needs to be held accountable because as an employer, you have the duty and the obligation to number one, make sure your employees are safe, and number two, make sure they're not sexually assaulted and harassed in your dungeon. Hello? Because what we at the dungeon for? What we in the basement for? Why? Why are we in the basement? Why is Candy and Todd here? I have questions. Why am I hearing smokestack lightning in the background? I have questions. Who watching Candy and Todd churn? I just have so many questions. I don't know who got the vending machine, baby. Is she here? It's just a lot going on. Y'all, let's move on. We just gotta move on at this point. We just gotta move on. If y'all not asking questions, if you not asking questions, you already dead. I'm just saying. You're just walking around here figuring it out. Ask questions, okay? Girl, I'm telling you, I'm just tired of this. I'm tired, you know? Now let's move to Will Smith and his lawsuit, child. His lawsuit coming out the ass. You heard that, girl? Will Smith getting sued again, girl. They say he a punk under pressure. I don't know if it's true. I'm just telling y'all what they said. And for those of y'all who sitting around here saying, Vu, you just hating, Vu, you just mad because Will rich and you not and you poor. I would say, well, you know, while that may be true, I am poor and he's rich. the evidence gonna always tell itself. So y'all can get on here and make 10 to me like I'm just making this up. But at the end of the day, Philly has had a lot of questionableness coming out of there, but we ain't gonna go there. Shout out to Philly. We're gonna let y'all live today, Philly. I'm just saying, but this is day 2 of y'all on the docket. Come get your boy. With the city of brotherly love, come get him. Because y'all about one more incident away from a borough water advisory and a curfew. I'm telling y'all now. Philly, y'all got one more incident. We had Meek Mills yesterday. We got Will today. One more. 3 strikes, Philly. 3 strikes and you out. I'm telling you now. Y'all got 3. We already on 2. 3 strikes, Philly, and you're back on the curfew. I said what I said. Okay? Now, this is what's going on. The people is saying that Will Smith is getting sued because the violinist was groomed. Child, don't even look. Girl, y'all got to stop grooming these people. Y'all got to stop with the grooming. Y'all got to stop with the grooming. Y'all get this money and y'all get the grooming people and things of that nature. Y'all got to stop. Let's get into it. This is the violinist. This is the violinist. And he is suing William, for sexual harassment and grooming and whatnot. It says Will Smith sued for sexual harassment, accused of deliberately grooming tour violinist. Will Smith was accused of sexual harassment by Brian King Joseph in a lawsuit filed in Los Angeles just before the new year, according to documents obtained by Fox News Digital. Joseph, a professional violinist, alleges Smith was deliberately grooming him and priming Mr. Joseph for future sexual exploitations in the complaint against the Academy Award-winning actor and associates with his Treyball Studio management. After his first performance with Will Smith, December 2024, the Getting Jiggy With It singer allegedly hired Joseph to join his Based on a True Story 2025 tour. Joseph claimed their relationship grew even closer after Smith offered him a chance to play on several tracks of the rapper's upcoming album. Smith and the plaintiff began spending additional time alone, with Smith even telling the plaintiff that you and I have such a special connection that I don't have with anyone else, and other similar expressions indicating his closeness to the plaintiff, documents state. Joseph allegedly joined the first leg of the tour in March 2025 in Las Vegas, where he was provided a hotel room booked by Smith and his team. He claimed no other individuals besides the crew and hotel staff would have access to his personal room. Why would no other individual besides the crew? Okay, I guess the hotel. Okay. The violinist who competed on America's Got Talent in 2018 because there are no coincidences. Y'all remember how all them people came through Star Search? Put a 3 in the chat if y'all remember Star Search. Didn't Britney Spears come through there? Aaliyah, Beyonce. And then we find out Beyonce is literally related to the Jacksons and Berry Gordy and them. Ain't none of this no coincidence. Ain't none of this no coincidence. None of this is a coincidence. Okay? Now, he was on America's Got Talent in 2018, claimed to place his room key in his bag, which he left in a van responsible for transporting the cast around and crew. It says, after rehearsal at the venue, management allegedly spent hours retrieving the bag. When Joseph returned to his hotel room later that evening, he claimed to have discovered evidence suggesting that an unknown person had unlawfully entered the room. Joseph subsequently called hotel security. The evidence included a handwritten note addressed to plaintiff by name, which read, Brian, I'll be back no later than 5:30. Just us, drawn heart, stone F, the lawsuit states. Among the remaining belongings were wipes, a beer bottle, a red backpack, a bottle of HIV medication. Didn't I tell y'all, Leo? Let me get them back on here. Because remember, through the Diddy trial, we found out Diddy and Cassidy had the herpes. And Cassidy was around there passing that Nestle Crunch around to all of the sex workers that side of the Mississippi. Hello? Is we gonna talk about it? Oh, y'all want to talk about it? What y'all want to do? Because if herpes and HIV in the hood, then guess where else is at? Child. So who got HIV medicine? About an HIV medication with another individual's name and earring and hospital discharge paperwork belonging to a person unbeknownst to the plaintiff. Joseph feared that an unknown individual would return to his home to engage in sexual acts. What? Documents said, and he immediately notified hotel security and representative for defendant. Go back. Joseph feared, he feared that an unknown individual would return to his room to engage in sexual acts. Documents said, and he immediately notified hotel security and representative for the defendant. And then it says they obtained photo documentation, requested a room change, and called the local non-emergency police line 311 to report the incident. Days later, Joseph claimed Smith team began blaming him for the incident. Rather than being protected against further assault and for attempting to understand plaintiff's complaint, plaintiff was shamed by defendant and told that he was being terminated, the complaint stated. When plaintiff requested further reasoning, Tim Miller, acting on behalf of the defendants, redirected the blame for the termination onto the plaintiff, replying, "I don't know, you tell me, because everyone is telling me that what happened to you is a lie. Nothing happened and that you made the whole thing up. So tell me, why did you lie and make this up?" So, the person working for Will is confronting the guy, the violinist, saying that everybody's saying that you lied, so we letting you go. So he's asking him, why would you lie? Joseph, at the request of Miller, compiled a timeline to explain the traumatic series of events that occurred that evening. However, following plaintiff's report and termination, defendant hired another violinist to assume the same position on the tour, documents stated. This hiring strongly suggested that the defendant's stated reason for the termination was pretextual. The fact strongly suggests that the defendant, Willard Carroll Smith, that's his name, the second, was deliberately grooming and priming Mr. Joseph for further sexual exploitation. The sequences of events, Smith's prior statement to plaintiff, and the circumstances of the hotel intrusion all point to a pattern of predatory behavior rather than an isolated incident, the lawsuit states. Defendant's actions caused plaintiff severe emotional distress, economic loss, reputational harm, and other damages. Plaintiff was also harmed as a result of the distress and losing his job. His health deteriorated, causing major psychological damages. Plaintiff suffered from PTSD and other mental illness as a result of the termination. Representative for Smith did not immediately respond to Fox News Digest requests for comments. So basically what it sounds like is the violinist basically went to whoever, he said that he was on tour with Will and he had a hotel room. The only people who knew the hotel room and the number and all that was the hotel people. He said nobody else knew. He said, well, he left the room and came back and he found some HIV medication and a note saying, "I'll be back, baby," or whatever the case. It freaked him out. He moved rooms. He called the hotel. He said he was freaked out because he didn't know who it could be because the only person who knew where he was the staff and the people and all of that. Well, right after that, somebody representing Will came to him and was like, "Baby, you fired." And he was like, "Well, what I'm fired for?" And they was like, "Because you lied." And he was like, "I lied." And they was like, "Yeah, you said somebody came in your room with HIV medication talking about I'm on the way back and da-da-da-da. And the people are saying that you lied." So the boy, the violinist, went down the list of all things that happened. It was like, nope, because this, and this. And Will Smith people was like, "Yeah, but you still fired." So now the boy went to the lawyer. I'm just giving y'all the nigga cliff notes. So the boy went to his lawyer, and now he's suing for PTSD for being fired. He's suing for what else he said? Yeah, he lost weight. His health deteriorating. He messed up. He said because what really was going on, he's assuming, because he don't know this to be a fact, but what he's assuming in the lawsuit is the only reason he was fired was because Will was trying to groom him. And because he caught the play and got rid of it first, Will fired him. There you go. There you go. That's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say it was because Will was trying to groom him. But because he caught it and nipped it in the bud, Will said pack him up, get him out the paint. So now he's suing. I don't know how this is going to go because in 2025 you can sue anybody for anything. But at the end of the day, he was never physically touched by nobody. According to what we saw, he was never physically touched by nobody, and he is suing Will. Now, do I think Will was grooming this violinist? Is a pig pussy pork? Hell yeah, bitch. Hell yeah, he was grooming that nigga, girl. Is you stupid? Don't be slavery stupid all your life. Will is a nasty, low-down, dirty dog. Yeah, girl, please. Was Will grooming him? Girl, please. Yeah, girl. God. Now, I'm telling you what I believe, okay? Between him and that bald head he called a wife, I don't trust and read none of them. Hell, they don't even trust each other. So what I look like trusting one of them? Now, like I said, even though Will was attempting to groom you, you didn't fall for the grooming. So how you gonna go back and won't sue? You didn't fall for it, sir. You caught the play. You should be rejoicing at this point. I caught the play. Will was gonna try to put his finger in my booty, but I caught it, and I'm glad God saved my booty. So I should be happy and rejoice. But instead of you rejoicing, here you go, because you done caught the play. Now you want to go sue. Now, again, I'm not saying that this brother isn't a victim. I'm just saying I don't understand. You caught it just in time. God favor you, son. Why? I'm just saying, like, you know, you ever missed, you ever had something happen, you be like, dang, I'm so glad God, one thing God do, he looked out. You don't go back and go sue the people who God looked out and saved it from. You supposed to just thank God and say, Lord, thank you for saving me, Lord. I done learned my lesson, Lord, moving forward. I swear to God, even though you be lying, I swear to God, I ain't gonna do that. That's what you supposed to do, not this nigga. This nigga felt like, well, I caught the play and I still feel played, bitch. I'm about to sue you. Go ahead on, violinist. I ain't mad at you. Get your coins. Get your coins. Because, yeah, I think he was going, yeah, he was grooming him. Yeah. He damn sure was. I believe he was grooming that boy. Yes, I do. And anybody who don't believe it, you crazy too. Girl, Will is a freak. Allegedly, from what I believe. He nasty. A nasty little low-down dog. Little scoundrel. You know what I'm saying? That's whatever the people used to say. Now, let's get into Jamal Bryant so he can cuss y'all out, honey. So the pastor, first of all, let me start by saying this. Every day, I understand why Jesus hated the church. Every single day, I understand why Jesus walked the earth and hated the church. The church is a cesspool for abuse. The church has been, I'm not saying all y'all churches, so don't get on here and windmill on me, but not my pastor, not my church. I'm not talking about your church if it ain't your church. But I'm talking about especially if you're talking about these mega churches that we got going on. The church historically has been a cesspool for sexual abuse, spiritual abuse, mental abuse, and that's all of them. I don't give a damn what religion you're in. Sexual abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, and most importantly, spiritual abuse. That's what the church has been doing to us from 90 going west, okay? That's the church. People don't want to hear it, but it's the God's honest truth. I'm not saying you don't get good out of the church, because there is good out of the church. But I'm telling you, those abuses are very, very rampant and prevalent inside the church. And two things I learned in my life, y'all take this with y'all. Two sayings. Shit rolls downhill and fish rot from the head down. I'm going to say it again. Shit rolls downhill and fish rot from the head down. What do I mean by that? Well, there's nothing that can roll up anything. Everything has to roll down. So if shit rolls downhill, then where is the origin of the shit? Is it at the bottom or is it at the top? That would imply that shit starts at the top. Now, in society that we live in, typically the people at the bottom get the bag for the shit that happens at the top. That's your average job. So what do I mean by that? You could get a DUI, your job firing you on the spot. But let your boss get the DUI, that's different. But the gag is the boss, his boss, and the boss on top of him stay getting DUIs. It's just the people at the bottom don't know it. Shit rolls downhill. Energy attracts energy. If the top is jacked up, the bottom is jacked up. If the top is fine, the bottom is fine. If the top is on their shit, then the bottom is on their shit. That's that theory of shit rolls downhill. We going into Jamal Bryant. I'm trying to take you that old. Follow me, camera. The other saying is fish rot from the head down. I need y'all to understand this and overstand this. Fish rot from the head down, because if you understand these concepts, you will understand every single system you have ever walked into. And you looking around at the regular people, and you got to know if that's happening at this level, then the top is way worse. The second one is fish rot from the head down. Think about a fish. I used to go fishing with my daddy. We used to catch speckled trout on the lake, like 90 going west. Speckled trout, redfish, catfish. You name it. I knew how to gut it, clean it, scale it, all of it. Okay. Now, when we used to catch fish with my daddy, we used to go fishing with my daddy would bring an ice chest. Now, he didn't put much ice in the ice chest. It was really for him to have his bait, because we used to use live bait, and then he'll put the fish in that we will catch. Well, if you put fish in that ice chest and you never put ice in it, or you just leave it there, it stinks all the hell. The fact of the matter is the body of the fish stinks, but the head of the fish is what goes bad first, and that causes the whole fish to go bad. But the majority of the rotten and the majority of that smell doesn't come from the body of the fish. It comes from the head, because the head is the part of the fish that is most important. That is the main ingredient or the main source of the fish. Now, let's go back into systems. Let's go back into your workplace. Let's go into any system. When I say fish rot from the head down, that means if the bottom or the body is rotten, then the head already been rotted. It's been stinking so bad that it's surprised people can't smell it. Does that make sense? So when I say fish rot from the bottom, from the top down, then if the bottom is in disarray, then the top ain't got a leg to stand on. All right, I hope those concepts make sense. Now, these concepts apply to every single system you will ever walk into. I don't care if it's your job system, if it's a church system, if it's a school system, if it's whatever. I don't care what system you walk to. Those two concepts will always apply. Because if it's fucked up at the top, the bottom don't stand a chance. Let's get into Pastor Jamal Bryant. And we're going to get into the black church. And we're going to get into these systems and the fish rotting from the head down. And what's the other one I said? Shit rolling downhill. Hold on, let me go get him. Y'all like the video. Hold on, let me go get this. No, yeah, that's the right one. Which one I was on? Oh, I was on the wrong, I was on the wrong tab. Y'all like the video if you haven't already, please. I sure would appreciate it if you do. Absolutely. I'm glad you asked this question. When you guys go to the grocery store and you buy fish, how often do you see the head on the fish? Walmart, Kroger, Publix. Whenever you gotta go to a fisherman's store or what do you call it? A fish market. You rarely see the head on the fish. Why? Because the head is the fastest thing to go bad. And once the head go bad, the body goes. You get it? So this is why when you go to the store, if you want to buy a fish with a head on it, you got to either go get somebody to catch it or you got to go to a fisherman's store. It's because fish rot from the head down. That is your system. That is the basic system of all systems. Okay? All right. Now, personally, depending on what you're cooking, some people like the heads because head has all the flavor, but that's a whole other story for cooking purposes. That's a whole other story. Some people be wanting to make stocks and all that stuff. That's a whole other story. Okay. Now, let's get into this system because that theory applies to every system that you go into. Let's get into the church system. We're going to talk today about the system of the church. No matter what church you go to, you all have the same system. Okay, I'm trying to teach y'all something right quick. It doesn't matter what religion, what church you go to, what denomination, what day you worship, you all fall under the very same system. What is that system, Vu? It's the same system that models the American government. You have two people or one person at the top, and then there's people in a buffer system between them and the people at the bottom. The people at the bottom takes care of the people at the top, and the people at the top makes the people at the bottom believe that they're being taken care of. But it's really kind of like the other way around. So in the system of the church, you have a pastor and you have a first lady. This would be like your president and your first lady. It's the same system. You see how it go? So you got a pastor and the first lady. When you go through the military, even they get married. Not because they want to be married, but because for the system's purposes, I have to have a mate. That's why you'll never see a single president or a single governor. They all have to be married because the system dictates that they have to have a partner. Follow me, y'all. I'm going somewhere with it. So now when we talk about the system of the church, the old system dictated that pastor has or had a wife. He has to have someone there. Pastor could be a low down, dirty scoundrel. It don't matter. For the purposes of the system, pastor has to have a first lady. Now, let me tell you why this is important. Because the buffers class people and the people at the very bottom, that's your regular church goers. So if you go to church on Sunday and you don't have a position at your church, you are at the very bottom of your system. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but if you go to a church and you don't hold no position at your church, you are at the very, very bottom of that system. You are a worker bee. You're expendable. They could get rid of you tomorrow and wouldn't lose no sleep. That's on your job. That's everywhere. Okay. Now, in this system, you have a pastor and a first lady. When I say the fish rot from the head down, the people who work in this system are only going to reflect what's happening at the top. What do I mean by that? I'll give you an example. I used to work at a restaurant, and depending on who was my floor supervisor, depending on the type of shift I had. So let's say I had a supervisor I was cool with. I knew if my shift supervisor worked on Saturday, we're going to be lit tonight. I'm going to be able to eat on the clock. I'm going to be able to be on my phone, because me and this supervisor, we cool. But if I have a supervisor who don't play like that, I know Saturday night going to be longer than a bitch. I already know she going to be over there making sure I ain't on the phone. She over there making sure I'm ringing this up. You see what I'm saying? When you have a system that is operating in its correct form or the way that it's intended to, the people at the top have to be on their shit. Because if they on their shit, then it automatically makes the people at the bottom have to. It's the same theory of me saying, I like working with my supervisor that's cool versus working with my supervisor who don't play. Now, I'm getting to this whole wife thing. I'm telling you, I'm just trying to show you how this stuff works. So, Pastor Jamal Bryant and his wife have a duty, as the leaders of their congregation and as representation of leadership in their congregation to uphold the top. In 2025, with the internet, we don't want to have that thing be a thing anymore. We want to blur the lines. We want to say you can have this responsibility over the people, but you don't have to be accountable for the actions that come along with that responsibility. What do I mean by that? You can be the president and still be sleeping with whoever you want. That don't go like that. If you want to be a nasty dog and sleep with whoever you want, fine. Just don't go be the president, because this seat entails that you be an upstanding citizen. And I'm only using that as an example. When it comes down to the church and the system, even if it was a lie, it has always been a position that was held in the highest regard. The pastor and the first lady has always been held in the highest regard, even if it was a lie. They've always displayed the highest level of respect. They've always displayed the highest level of imagery and the highest positivity, even if it was a lie, because they need the people at the bottom to reflect what they see at the top. The system calls for that. The moment you go away from that, the whole system goes kaput. That's the example of fish rotting from the head down. If it's rotten at the top, it's rotten at the bottom. You get it? So in the church system, Pastor Jamal Bryant and his wife have a duty. When they took on the role of him being pastor, and she took on the role of her being first lady, their lives are no longer theirs to live. She not me. She can't go put some booty shorts on and go to Walmart. It is not now becoming of you because of the title you have gained. You now have to live differently. I know it sucks, but it's part of the game. It's par for the course. It goes with the move. Okay? So when Jamal Bryant and his wife decided that they wanted to be the pastors and first ladies of this church, they had a duty to uphold that image. And from what's going on is that the wife wore a dress. It was a nude looking dress. She wasn't nude, but it did present as nude, and people in the congregation went crazy, as they should. Because if you've been in this system for tens of years, or even for your whole life, you understand that if the first lady looked like a hoe, then the church is going to shit. And that is subjective as to what people think what looks like a hoe is. But what we do know is this system called church dictates that what that first lady wore is unbecoming of a first lady. I don't give a damn about the church. I don't give a damn about the people at the church. I'm just telling y'all the way it is. When Pastor Jamal Bryant decided to marry this woman and make her his first lady, both of them agreed to uphold an image to that so that the church can run smoothly. You don't get to go against that because it benefits you or because it makes you feel better in any situation. What Pastor Jamal Bryant is doing is he got mad because the church went into an uproar about his wife's dress, and he went back to the pulpit to address it. Now, first of all, it was very disrespectful for him to even address it at the pulpit. If the pulpit is to be as sacred as you claim it is, then why are you bringing worldly mess to the pulpit? Some personal shit to the pulpit. That's why I used to always stand behind it when my grandma used to clean the church. I used to stand behind the pulpit on that microphone too. Sure did. And my grandma used to get mad. But I never felt the sacredcy. I never felt how sacred they claimed it was. I never felt it. So now, here it is. Your wife done went out here presenting half nude. She wasn't nude, but she's the first lady. Presenting half nude, the people in the congregation give you backlash, and here you go at the very pulpit y'all claim to be sacred. Here you go at the pulpit checking the congregation, telling them they fat, y'all ugly. How y'all gonna talk about my wife when you don't look like nothing? Oh, baby, he cussed them the out. Oh, yes, he did. Whoa, yes, he did. And I'm sitting up here saying, well, I'll be damned. There goes the pulpit. Let's get into it. And we're going to get a little bit into more why Pastor Jamal Bryant is way out of order. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all are blending things that is going to come back and bite you in your ass. Systems, right or wrong, some of them are made for a reason. There's a reason why at one point in time when you was younger, you had to actually have church clothes. Yeah. Somewhere in your closet, they had a portion that was specific for your church clothes. That meant that shit you wearing in the streets, you didn't wear that down to the church house. I don't give a damn if you had to go borrow clothes. You had a thing called church clothes. What did that do? That kept the streets in the streets and the church in the church. Because the moment you blur them lines, you bring the streets into the church. That's why Kirk Franklin, little nasty ass, was around here asking y'all if y'all wanted a revolution. So even though the system is flawed and fucked up, it has its benefits. Okay? I just want to throw that out there. Let's get into him cussing everybody out because of the backlash his wife received.
Got out of shape preachers.
He started with the preachers, and that's the wife here. He said we got out of shape preachers.
Rail on modesty, but have never preached a sermon on obesity and gluttony. It's all right for you to be anointed as long as you don't look like nothing. As long as you look like 12 years a slave, they think you holy.
So now what I took from that is, as long as you look like 12 years a slave, they think you holy. So what you trying to say? Church people look bad? What you trying to say? That the people that attend church on a Sunday, they look like 12 years a slave? And your wife don't? And the moment she come out not looking like 12 years a slave, all the people who do look like 12 years a slave, y'all just jealous? What are you saying, Jamal? What are you saying? I really want to know.
If you got your hair done, nails done, toes done, y'all ain't saying nothing, smelling good, then immediately church Negroes will make up that you're sleeping with somebody, you prostituted yourself, you played yourself cheap. They don't understand. I got a real sugar daddy, and I will look to the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord. I needed to get this straight. I needed to deal with it head on, because the other day the internet went crazy about a dress my wife had on. Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund. They never mentioned that she prayed until heaven came down. They never said anything about this was the largest fundraiser for for HBCUs in the country. But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded people.
Now, while I believe that some people in the audience are insecure, petty, and small-minded, I do believe that. I don't believe that is the sentiment of everybody. Remember, you got to keep in mind. So y'all, let me show y'all the dress so y'all can see it. You got to keep in mind, this is the very first time a woman, a first lady, has ever stepped out looking like this. Let me let y'all see it. So the people's reaction is warranted. This is type of stuff we've seen at regular events. Yes. At a ball. Yes. But we've never seen a first lady with her boobs up under her neck in a new presenting. I think the dress is gorgeous. Listen, I personally love the dress. I would wear the dress, but I'm not a first lady. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a first lady. I don't have an imagery on me that makes people think that I'm here. So it wouldn't bother me to wear the dress, but for the first lady, this is inappropriate for the system. The dress itself ain't bad. She not bad. for the system that they live in. It's messed up for the system. And that's the part we missing over here. Let me let them finish.
Got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now you got to help some people because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for understanding. The dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing, furthermore, I needed to set the record straight.
I don't like that. Because you ain't never been nowhere. You ain't never been exposed to nothing. Listen, people tell you how they really feel about you if you really listen. Because what you mean? Nigga, we the reason why you done been somewhere. We the reason why you done been exposed to stuff. So you gonna get in front of the church because you got this wife number 10. And now you gonna go off on us. First of all, you called us petty and insecure. Then you gonna turn around, you called us fat. Then you gonna flip it around and say, oh, because you ain't never been nowhere. So now you assuming that I'm ignorant and I ain't never go nowhere neither? Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't like this. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress. And I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't mad to y'all. She mad to me. Now, if you wanted a first lady that looked like Little House on the Prairie and Holly Hobbie, you got the wrong church. I wanted a wife I would rush home to, that I wanted to be excited to see. When we walked in there, I said, shake it fast, watch yourself. You got outer.
What's happening here is two different things. People are conflating a husband having his wife's back, which he should, with a pastor addressing his congregation. Two things are happening, but only one of them is important at this moment. Let me say this again. Two things are happening, but only one of them is important in this moment. Let's say what he said is true. I bought the dress. I like the dress. Fine. Ain't nobody mad at that. That's something you and your wife should have done personally on your own time. And you will still have the same ideas of running home to your wife and lusting. You will still have that same thing. But it's just like when I go to work, I can't wear my club clothes. Your wife needs to stop going to church in her club clothes. And you need to stop buying it for her to wear down to the church. You get it? See, him helping up for his wife is a great thing. But in this situation, it's not about you or your wife. It is about the congregation, the system. It should be about God. And if you were such close to God as you claim you was, then you would know that it's not necessarily wrong what you did. It's just the way in which you carried out what you did and how you did it. And you should be able to understand why the congregation have the response that it has. I'm not saying that he's not supposed to recognize that a lot of them people in there hating. I believe that some of them in there is hating. But if he really was as close to God as he say he was, he would understand as a man of God and a leader of the congregation, I see why they mad. I could have had bought my wife that dress and we could have went to dinner. We didn't have to put that on the internet. Me and my wife could have went out and had a wonderful time in that dress. Because I know it's inappropriate for the congregation / the system. That's when you care about the system though. But when you trying to, number one, conflate the rules, grade the lines, and two, do what you want to do, what you do is you mess up, you go dirty dog foul on the system, and then get mad at the people for calling you out on it. The fact of the matter is, Jamal Bryant is mad that his congregation called out him and his wife. You buying it don't make it better. That means both of y'all lost and turned out. And because there are so many unhealed women who've never had a man who loved them enough to take up for them, all they're going to see is a man taking up for his wife. And it's going to make them. That's right, Pastor. That's your wife. Take up for your wife. It's all women who ain't never had a man love them and take up for them. It done blinded them. They can't even see the real for the bullshit. Because all they can see is, dang, I wish somebody took up for me like that on the pulpit. Damn. I wish a man ever loved me like that to take up for me in front of people. So they see it on somebody else and they can't help but. Oh, that's so nice. That's right, Pastor. You better preach, Pastor. Yay. Unhealed trauma. He supposed to take up for his wife. I ain't mad at that. But the fact of the matter is, being the head of a system and a congregation that is supposed to be of God, you wrong. You 1,000% wrong. And anybody clapping for that, just know you are inviting the devil in. Well, he already in there. I was about to say you're inviting him in there, but now you're about to invite that whole spirit in your church. You know that, right? I mean, the Holy Spirit was already there. Oh, but it's about to rear its ugly head bigger and louder than you have ever seen it. You are inviting that whole spirit, because it's a spirit, down to the congregation. You thought them hoes was being fast at the church. Now they see First Lady could come up in there dressed any kind of way. Oh, girl, hide your church, your sons, your husbands, your pastors, and we all know Pastor Jamal Bryant have a long history of hugging and hoeing in the church. Pastor Holy Whore is given. He purposely inviting that whole spirit in so he can have his pick of the litter. I mean, he liked to smoke weed, so now he growing weed in the backyard of the church. He like hoes. I'm just saying, put two and two together. Put the 2 and 2 together. He like weed. He grow weed in the backyard of the church. He like hoes. Invite the whole spirit. I just see things differently. I look at things from a different perspective, and that's what I'm getting off it. I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting off of it. That's what I'm getting off of it. Because what would be the reason? Bad enough, we already know pastors don't look like they used to. Back in the day, the pastor used to be some old 60, 70-year-old man with the towel wiping his face, sweating all over there. We used to wondering who he's sleeping with. Now the pastors are young, they vibrant, they handsome, they cute, they pretty. So the pastors are different. So we already know ties are shifting. But now you literally opening the church doors wide open for the Holy Spirit. And I ain't mad at the Holy Spirit. I think the Holy Spirit is necessary. The Holy Spirit was already in there. But at first it was creeping through the bike door. But with this, he's opening both church doors, bust them wide open, telling the Holy Spirit, come on in. It reminded me of The Color Purple. See, Daddy, God like hoes too. God love a sinner too. Hold on. He came back because see, and this is another thing too I want to add. He wanted to flip and deflect on the fact that him and his wife was fucked up. Let's call it. And now he want to say, well, y'all ain't talking about the fact that we raised X amount of dollars. And y'all ain't talking about the fact that we did this and we did that. Yeah, we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Yeah, you did this and you did that. But also, y'all messing up the church. Pastor Jamal Bryant, with what he's doing, is messing up the church. He's wrong. Him and his gizzard cosplaying as wife, because she looked just like Giselle. He has a type. Pastor Holy Whore, slinging his big D all over the congregation. I didn't say it. The girl on Real Housewives of Potomac said it. I want to see if he says something different in this clip. Y'all get the likes up.
Needed to get this straight. I needed to deal with it.
Oh, let me see what he said. The dress issue was dealt with last night at New Birth MBC. So it's a new person. It says, now we must address Black unemployment, protection for the undocumented, health care for the undeserved, that's the undocumented, and access to higher education for the undocumented. By the way, over 100 people got saved last night, and over 1,000 kids were in our youth program. It's up from here. Let's get into what he got to say.
It on. Because the other day, the internet went crazy about a dress my wife had on. Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund.
Yeah, we know about that, and we don't care. And fuck the United Negro College Fund, because, bitch, I ain't heard a nigga get a scholarship from them since the 90s. Quiet as it's kept. Where is the money going from the United Negro College Fund? They might be giving it to the doggone foreigners. Y'all might want to look into it. Yeah, he bootleg. I don't know if he bootleg, but he definitely D9. Oh, and by the way, he came up under Eddie Long. Y'all know the bishop, Eddie Long, who was around there playing in them little boys' booties. And it ain't alleged. Y'all know Eddie Long, who was thicker than a snicker on one Sunday service and next Sunday came back looking like J.J. Evans. Y'all know Eddie Long. Yeah, that's his little partner. That's his mentor. Him and what's his name from New Orleans? Raymond Miles. What is his name from New Orleans? Who got that big? All them come up under Eddie Long. Yeah, girl. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So if the fish ride from the head down, and if shit rolls downhill, that means it started at the top. Hello? The fact of the matter is, like I said, the dress wasn't bad. I love the dress. I think the dress is gorgeous. I would buy the dress and I would wear the dress today. Paul Martin. Thank you, Jaleesa. Paul Martin. He the other pastor came up under Eddie Long. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, Jamal Bryant for Baltimore, girl. Blue is a color, red is another. I'm a Baltimore lover, pop motherfucker, whatever they be saying, girl. We know who else from Baltimore. We ain't gotta go there. The point I'm making is I think the dress is beautiful, but for the system that they lead, or for others, for the congregation that they claim to be ahead of, they need to set a better example. This is extremely unbecoming of a first lady. No one in the audience is supposed to sexualize the pastor nor the first lady. It is not normal. It is not okay. And if you guys believe in your Bibles and your churches the way that you claim you do, or the way that it was instilled on you as a child, then you know that what this is wrong. It's wrong, bruh. It's wrong. Again, if she want to embrace her body and wear what she want, fine. You just can't be a first lady. You just can't. Go and be a content creator. That way, when you step out in your outfit, ain't a bitch gonna be able to tell you nothing, because you don't have no responsibility over no people. But when you are responsible and accountable for a whole system of people who are looking at you to be representation of the Most High God, you have to go with that move. You can't go how you want to go. And for Jamal Bryant to antagonize, to gaslight, and to curse out all them people and insult all them people in that congregation, he a low down dirty dog, and he gonna pay for it. And it gives me that he around there helping them foreigners more than niggas anyway. All y'all doing is going to church, giving him your energy in your pocketbook so he can put it in his wife pocket and them immigrants' pocket. Y'all need to get up out of there anyway. I don't like getting cussed out by the people I follow. He wrong. He 1,000% wrong. And I don't know why people following them no way. They got to be crazy to be following that fool. I wouldn't follow that nigga to the corner store. Do you hear me? Claire Marvel, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For real, I wouldn't follow that nigga to the corner store. Brandon Miller, thank you so much for becoming a new member because it's sad. And let me say this before I get off of here because we had 2 hours and 19 minutes. Let me say this before I get off of here. Stop. This is what the enemy does. They take your emotions, right? They take something that's logical, but they use your emotions to get you to go blind by it. It's no different from me knowing that this is a pen. I know that this is a pen. You know that this is a pen. Everybody behind this camera knows that this is a pen. But if somebody could get me in my feelings long enough for me to feel like this ain't a pen and this is actually a weapon, then guess what this turns into? A weapon. But if a pen is a pen and you get me emotional in my feelings and I want to turn this pen into a weapon, it turns into a weapon. The point I'm making is this. Logic goes out the window when emotion comes in. Y'all emotional about the fact that a man is taking up for his wife and you're not seeing the point that he's completely tearing down a system that works for the greater good of the people who attend it. It is best that the pastor and first lady have a level of respect and an aura around them that is different from the rest because they are to be examples of who you are to be in the walks of life of God or Christ or whatever the case may be. You don't get to tell, it's almost like do as I say and not as I do. You don't get to preach to me Sunday about my shortcomings and your wife over there dressed like Lil' Kim. It don't go like that. Because now I got to look at you and say, who the hell is you to tell me? And you got damn sexy red next to you. Don't let your feelings and emotion outweigh your logic. The logic is Pastor Jamal Bryant and that gizzard cosplayer is wronger than a mug. With that being said, I'm going to get up off of here. Love y'all down to the ground. Stay out them people churches. And if you see Jamal Bryant, tell him I said stay out them people booties. With that being said, I'll see y'all on the next one. Have a great weekend. See y'all at Educational Friday at this channel about 5:30. Love y'all down to the ground. Peace.
Can you hear me now? Oh, let's go. It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat.
You know what I won't
blaze up.
Come on, blaze up.
It's the beat for me.
Wow, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live. For your boy. For your boy. Also for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your wow, 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 lift it up.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.